I'm so glad that I decided to do these because, let's face it, NXT is so much better than Monday Night Raw, and especially better than Friday or Tuesday Night now SmackDown, but it was Friday Night SmackDown. I am here to discuss episode 429, December, January 10th, 2018. Basically, the description says the Undisputed Era defends the NXT Tag Team Championships against Sanity. See, but that right there is a lie, because they do not defend against Sanity. Because Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly took out Sanity before the match even began. The only person from Sanity that we got to see a cameo from was at almost the beginning of their match with Aleister Black and Roddy Strong, that being Undisputed Era's match with Aleister Black and Roddy Strong. Beautiful match, by the way. We'll get to that in just a moment. Nonetheless, before that match, the only thing that you got to see from Sanity's half was Nikki Cross coming out, and she was pissed. The woman was livid. She had to have 2 referees restrain her, and even then they were doing a horrible job of restraining her because one of them tripped, and then she ends up tripping over him, and then instead of them making it look like that they were restraining her, it made it look like that they were playing Twister with her. But nonetheless, that's not the case. It's just bad acting on everybody's part, especially the referees. I mean, if the man wouldn't have tripped in the first place, then she wouldn't have ever tripped over him. Nonetheless, we're not here to talk about that. Like I said, the main event here, on January 10th, 2018, NXT episode 429. This is my first NXT review, and I rate this NXT 5 out of 5. 5 out of 5 stars. You know what? I'll be generous, because I'm not going to say that it was perfect. Really, it wasn't. This NXT episode was anything but perfect. I mean, it wasn't like a takeover or anything like that, but it was the first time that I got to see a few of my favorite wrestlers, whether it be NXT superstars or not. But it was the first time that I got to see Lars Sullivan took on Lio Rush. I was familiar with Lio Rush, and I'm of course familiar with Lars Sullivan. I feel like Lars Sullivan is just a generic big guy. I really don't see much in him, to be honest. Whereas though that somebody of the caliber of Aleister Black, Fade to Black, you'll get that if you have the network, or even for that matter watch any sort of NXT involving Aleister Black. But if you fade to black, Aleister Black is basically one of these big guys like Samoa Joe. These big guys that can move like lightweights, and they make it look so easy. Like, you know, he's 335 pounds. He's probably 6'3", 6'5", you know, and he makes it look so easy to move, like he's just a feather in the wind, when he weighs more than a sack of potatoes, 10 sacks of potatoes, let's put it that way. Because sack of potatoes for me isn't heavy, but for most people it might be. Nonetheless, we're not here to talk about potatoes. This NXT episode was amazing, despite the fact that I think her name is Kaya. I could be wrong. She may or may not have gotten injured by one of these MMA uprising stars. I'm really not familiar with her name. Do apologize. I know that's unprofessional on my part. Fuck me, you know. Who knew? But nonetheless, it's not about that. Their first contest, if you was to go back and watch the 429th episode of NXT, you'll see that somebody got injured, somebody got hurt. It didn't really look that bad at first, but whenever they slowed it down and then you looked at it, it really wasn't all that appetizing to watch. Lio Rush, as I said, went up against Lars Sullivan, and Lio Rush, he really showed how fast he truly is. Either that or he just made Lars Sullivan look slow. And you know, Sullivan's a big guy, but he doesn't move very fast. He's like the Big Show. Now, I'm not knocking the Big Show, because the Big Show can move faster than Kevin Owens, and for that, I thank you. But one thing that the Big Show can't do is move faster than somebody like Samoa Joe, and they might be about the same weight. I'm not sure. You know, but I see guys in NXT, Killian Dane, Aleister Black. I see these big guys, and they move at an alarming rate for guys their size. And a big man, a man that big, should not be able to move that fast. And if you don't know who I'm talking about one, Aleister Black. Aleister Black is like a freight train with wings, okay? I mean, let's just put it that way. The man, I should say, can move at an alarming rate of speed, and it is scary for a man that big to be able to move that fast. But nonetheless, I really did enjoy their main event, which had Roderick Strong, and Aleister Black face off in a tag team titles match against the Undisputed Era, or on the independent circuit, they're known as the Red Dragons. If you still don't know who I'm talking about, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly have such a great team chemistry, and it shows in the ring that they put in the work. They really do, and with Adam Cole behind them, Adam Cole is the man. I don't care who you are. You can't hate this guy. I mean, honestly, Cole, he has the experience. He's done it. He's done everything in his power in order to obtain. So, and it was just announced that he will be facing Aleister Black. Adam Cole will be facing Aleister Black in a Extreme Rules match. For those of you who watched 90s wrestling, if anyone happens to come across this video, an Extreme Rules match is our interpretation of a hardcore match. But they can't say hardcore on TV anymore, because it upsets the kiddies. You know, I'm going to go hardcore on your ass. You know, that's not allowed to be said anymore. For some stupid reason, we had to go PG, not the TV 14. But it doesn't matter. You're still going to be in for a great, and I mean a great event at NXT TakeOver Philadelphia. Allow me to tell you what you're in for. As a matter of fact, you're either going to see the Street Kings, I think they're called. The Street Kings face off against Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, or you're going to see the Undisputed Era, otherwise known as the Red Dragons, otherwise known as Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, your NXT Tag Team Champions at this time. You're going to see them face off against the Authors of Pain. Now, I really don't like the Authors of Pain. I really don't care what spin you put on them. They're lazy, and it shows. For big guys, they don't exactly move too fast, and it's really not. I mean, I've only seen them wrestle like 2 or 3 times. I could change that, my views. Simple as that. You know, I haven't had much experience observing exactly what it is that they're capable of doing. I haven't seen exactly what it is that they do on a regular basis. But for me, if you're a big guy, you better be able to move fast. Because if you can't, I'm going to compare you to someone who can, and then I'm going to ask you, why can't you move as fast as him? You move well, but why can't you move as fast as Samoa Joe or Aleister Black, as I aforementioned before? But nonetheless, the Street Profits, not the Street Kings, as I said before. Don't know why I said that. The Street Profits or Authors of Pain will know by next week. Nonetheless, another great event that I'm looking forward to. It's your main event of NXT Philadelphia. TakeOver Philadelphia, excuse me. You're going to have Johnny Wrestling. He finally got a title shot. Johnny Wrestling. And a lot of people say he's underrated. A lot of people don't really overlook him, but they see him as not really a threat. I mean, they see him as a talented superstar, but he's not on that main event level. But Johnny Wrestling will be going up against, or Johnny Gargano will be going up against Cien Almas. Now, that will be a show to see, because I would pay money to see these two in the ring together for 10 minutes. Let's say 10 minutes. But normally these matches, they normally go on for more than 10 minutes. They normally go on for somewhere between 20 and 30 minutes. That's what you're going to get. You're going to get that much entertainment in one match, and that's the main event. NXT Women's Championship, I really don't know if they've named a number one contender. As I said before, I haven't really been watching all that much. This is my first NXT review. I know that seems a little lazy, but it looks like Ember Moon will be facing off against this, and as I said before, I don't know her name. I don't know this girl's name, but she broke, I think her name's Kyra. She broke her arm. Yeah, at the beginning of the program, it was really disturbing to watch at first, but it's just something different. She's not really the type of person I feel should be in a wrestling ring, because Amaro Ronaldo, I hope that I said his name right, but Amaro Ronaldo went ahead and he said on the commentary desk that she's been in the octagon with people like Chris Cyborg. Had that been the case, what's she doing in WWE's NXT? It's like, why is Brock Lesnar still here? You know, that begs the question, why is Brock Lesnar still here? Whenever you think about it, because at the Royal Rumble, you're going to get three people: Brock Lesnar, Kane, and Braun Strowman, to face off against each other. A lot of people want to see Braun win this match. Why? Are you stupid? And if you are, allow me to educate you. Braun Strowman wins. What happens next? He comes out and goes, "Roar!" all the time. And then you got a champion that just got to put one foot in front of the other. Walks like the fucking Iron Giant. And talks like a fucking country boy out of Minnesota or something. I mean, I don't know. I'm not trying to make fun of people who are from Minnesota. I don't know anything about Minnesota. But what I do know is that Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman aren't too much of a far stretch from each other. And Kane being in this match doesn't really help. They all three have issues and problems. And Kane's is that he's too old to be doing this. Kane's been here for God knows how long, and he needs to go do something else. He needs to go work on the railroad all the live long day, so to speak. He needs to go, I don't know, set houses on fire, seeing as though that he's a that the WWE has made him out to be somewhat of a pyromaniac throughout the years. So, you know, Braun Strowman would be great at doing something as well. You know, this is lazy. This is a crappy booking on the WWE's part. As far as, I love how they treat NXT like it's gold, but they treat their live WWE events like SmackDown and Raw like they're nothing more than turds. And then they'll wonder, why do we have empty seats? Gee, I wonder. Sit here and scratch my head. I know. Let's go ahead and do the same shit every week. That's what people want to see. They want to see Sheamus face off against Seth Rollins, which, by the way, has been announced to be one of the matches on the Raw 25 card. I'm not saying that neither one of the talents are, you know, thumbs down, you know, boo, we don't want this, 3 frowny faces and a mad face emoji. No, I'm not saying anything like that. But what I am saying is that I'm pretty sure I've already seen Seth Rollins face off against Cesaro and Sheamus, whether it be in singles or tag team competition. It's like putting John Cena in a match with Randy Orton. You know, you've already used that formula quite a couple of times. I think that it's time that you sort of step back from it and say, okay, you guys have had quite a couple of rivalries, but what we're going to do here is take a break. Okay, Orton, you'll go over here, and Cena, you're going over here, or you're fired. You know, just do something with John Cena, by the way, because the man's getting out of control. I can't believe you guys, speaking of John Cena, I can't believe that you guys allowed him to, I really don't understand this. Now I'm speaking to the WWE in a whole, not really the universe or their fan base or whatever, but I can't believe that the WWE allowed John Cena to win 16 world titles. Okay, that's practically the only thing that Ric Flair has left, is that once that's gone, that's going to wipe out Ric Flair's whole legacy, because his legacy was built upon winning, woo, 16-time world champion, jet flying, Rolex wearing, he had a whole mantra things that he would say: limousine riding, jet flying, wooing, willing, dealing, stealing, you know, son of a gun. But other than that and the 16 world titles, that's all that Flair has. So if John Cena, by some miracle, ends up, or rather it won't be a miracle, I mean, let's face it, John Cena just has to walk up to old Daniel Bryan or Vinnie Mac and then say, I want my world championship, and then they'll say, okay, Cena, you got it, buddy. Yeah, let's take a picture. Because that's what the people want to see, right? They want to see John Cena hold it 17 times. No. Anyway, that was the NXT review, and I'm going to go ahead and cut this video off right now, and thank everyone for stopping by, and sorry that I got a little carried away there. This was the NXT review and a little more, but nonetheless, follow me on Twitter at P1StylesX. If you don't, I don't care. Then don't follow me on Twitter at P1StylesX. Just have to feel like I have to say this every week. But anyway, that's going to do it for me, and goodbye.